English grammar lessons. Today we are going to talk about phrases and clauses. In our previous lessons, we talked about the structure of a sentence, that the sentences are made of noun, verbs, adverbs and adjectives and others. And we also talked about different types of sentences like exclamatory sentences, interrogatory sentences and other types of sentences. But now let's see what are phrases and clauses. Look at the sentences. The boy ran. You know, the boy is the subject, ran is the verb. And the next sentence, the boy ran fast. Subject, verb and adverb. The boy ran as fast as a deer. The boy ran as fast as a deer. Now, these words, these group of words also do the same function as that of fast. In fact, this is doing the same function of fast. These extra words. So, the entire group of words we call as phrase. So, here let us see one more sentence. The tall boy ran as fast as a deer. So, the tall boy is adjective. The tall boy from Delhi ran as fast as a deer. So, tall boy from Delhi, again a group of words. It gives extra information about the boy. The entire thing, entire group of words also do the function of an adjective. So, these also are called phrase. Here it is giving extra information about the way the boy ran, means about the verb. So, they are adverbial phrase, while these words are giving extra information about the boy, that is, they are adjectival phrase. Now, coming to the definition of phrases, phrases are a group of words that can do the function of adjective or an adverb. In short, they will give you more information about a subject or about the way an action is done. Let us look at these sentences. The boy ran till he reached his house. Boy, noun, ran, verb, till he reached his house. The entire thing is, they are a group of words to explain how the boy ran. So, in this group of words, if you look carefully, you will find that there is a subject he and there is a verb reach. So, here we have a subject doing an action, he reaching his house. So, when you have a subject doing an action, then those group of words are called clauses. In a phrase, you will never have a subject doing an action. You may have a subject, you may have a verb, but you will not have a subject doing an action. Now, let us come to this sentence. She refused to drink milk because she hates milk. So, she, noun, refused is verb, refused to drink, then because she hates milk, the entire thing is the adverb or is what stands for an adverb, or in other words we call that this is an adverbial clause. I drank the milk which you bought yesterday. So, I, subject, drank, verb, then which you bought yesterday explains the milk, gives more information about milk, which milk, what milk. So, this group of words stands to describe milk, which is a subject, and in other words it means it is an adjective. So, this clause behaves like an adjective, hence it is called an adjectival clause. So, here I like, subject, as usual it is the verb and tea is the object. This I like tea is the first part and that my sister makes is the second part. Now, I like tea, these three words conveys a complete idea that I like tea. But when you come to the second part of the sentence, that my sister makes, that alone, you take off I like tea and simply that my sister makes cannot convey a full idea. So, it makes sense only when it is joined to I like tea. So, hence we call this independent clause and this dependent clause. This is dependent clause because it cannot stand independently and convey a full meaning, while this alone, I like tea, is a complete sentence conveying a complete message. This is also called a simple sentence. Same way, let's come to the second sentence. I went to a hotel. I went to a hotel which is expensive. Here, I went to a hotel is an independent clause, otherwise it is a simple sentence, but which is expensive is a dependent clause. Now, let me give you more examples of clauses. These sentences, let us see these sentences. Here is the lady who taught me cooking. Here is the lady, independent clause. Who taught me cooking is the dependent clause. I read the book that you bought me. I read the book, independent clause. That you bought me is a dependent clause. I saw Mary when I went to the market. I saw Mary, independent clause. When I went to the market, dependent clause. She met him when she went to Bombay. She met him, independent clause. When she went to Bombay is the dependent clause. Here, the first two, who taught me cooking, describes the lady. Hence, this functions as an adjective. So, we call it an adjectival clause. Adjectival clause. Here, I read the book that you bought me. That you bought me is a clause that describes the book. Hence, this is also an adjectival clause. I saw Mary when I went to the market. I saw Mary is the independent clause and when I went to the market is the dependent clause. And this dependent clause acts like a adverb. So, it is an adverbial clause. Same way, she met him when she went to Bombay. She met him is the independent clause and when she went to Bombay is how we describes or gives added information about met. So, this is the dependent clause or dependent clause that helps the verb met. Hence, this is a adverbial clause. So, these two sentences, these two clauses are examples of adverb clause, while these two sentences, these two clauses are examples of adjective clauses. Who taught me cooking? That you bought me. Adjective clauses. When I went to the market and when she went to Bombay, those are adverb clauses. So, let us see this. We can put this like clauses like this. This is clauses and there are two types of clauses, mainly adjective clause and adverbial clause. Adjective clause giving more information about the nouns and adverbial clause giving more information about the verbs in a sentence. So, with that we are concluding the topic of clauses. Now that we have finished dealing with clauses, let me tell you how clauses can make different types of sentences. Sentences we can roughly divide into three categories. One is simple sentences, another one is complex sentences and the third one is compound sentences. Now, let us look at this sentence, I like tea. It is an independent clause. as I told you before, and this is a simple sentence because it has a subject, a verb. So, it conveys a complete idea. I like tea. When you come to the next sentence, I like tea that my sister makes. Here you have I like tea, which is an independent clause, as well as that my sister makes, which is a dependent clause. So, a sentence that has an independent clause and one or more dependent clause are known as complex sentences. And compound sentences, I like tea, but my sister likes coffee. Now look at this sentence very carefully. I like tea is a full sentence. It can stand independently on its own. It conveys a meaning on its own. But here, my sister likes coffee. This also can stand on its own. This independently, my sister likes coffee conveys an independent meaning. So here we have two independent clauses, I like tea and my sister likes coffee, combined by but. So compound sentences are sentences which has two independent clause combined by conjunctions like and or but or for and since, etc. I will give you one more example. The cat drank the milk. The cat drank the milk that was in the plate. The cat drank milk and it went to sleep. So here the cat drank the milk is simple sentence. The cat drank the milk that was in the plate is a complex sentence because it has an independent clause and a dependent clause. And the third one, the cat drank the milk and it went to sleep. It went to sleep is a independent clause. It can stand on its own and convey its own meaning. So hence two independent clause joined by and. So this becomes the compound sentence. So now we have gone through phrases, and from phrases we have gone to clauses, and now we have seen what clauses can do to make different kinds of sentences. Thank you for watching Open School English lessons, and if you have any suggestions and questions, please mail them to shrimansrini@gmail.com. Thank you.